We're talking about abortion protections at the federal level being overturned by Roe v. Wade, and then dozens of Republican states, or a shit ton of Republican states, going after abortion. And this person says, but the part you're leaving out is that the laws against abortion in these states are left up to the voters, which is why you saw the outcomes in states like Ohio. And there was another state, it got cut off here at the bottom. And in some cases, yes, there have been ballot initiatives that the voters of those states have been able to go in and secure abortion access, through a ballot initiative, usually something that maybe amends their state constitution. But the part that you're leaving out is that Republicans are actively trying to fight against that. Republicans proved there was a big catch about leaving abortion to the states. To say the 2024 election was a mixed bag for abortion rights would be a gigantic understatement. While voters approved 7 out of 10 pro-choice ballot measures, they also elected Donald Trump to a second term, which threatens abortion access nationwide. As we brace for federal restrictions, state lawmakers are moving to hamper future abortion ballot campaigns and are even attacking amendments that have already been passed. Bills introduced across the country would make it harder to get proposals on the ballot, more difficult to pass them, and would undermine newly adopted constitutional amendments. These actions directly contradict conservative refrains that the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade would send the issue of abortion back to the states. It turns out that Republicans don't actually like it when voters have a direct say on abortion because access to abortion is popular. They would prefer representative democracy or the people electing lawmakers to gerrymandered districts to vote on issues for them. For example, Idaho lawmakers are moving to make it harder to amend the state's constitution with House Bill 2. House Bill 2 would mean that you would need to raise the threshold from a simple majority vote to 60%. It's no coincidence that a group called Idahoans United for Women and Families had already announced a campaign to overturn the state's devastating abortion ban via a measure on the November 2026 ballot. This ballot initiative was announced. Then Idaho Republicans introduced House Bill to make that ballot initiative harder to pass if it gets on the bill, or if it gets on the ballot. During the 4 months the law was in effect, doctors airlifted 6 patients to neighboring states to get care rather than risk prosecution. That's awesome. South Dakota is doing the same thing. South Dakota lawmakers are trying to raise the passage threshold for constitutional amendments from a simple majority up to 60%. Florida has been fucking with this shit as well. The 2024 abortion ballot measure failed. Amendment 4 received a majority of the votes with 57%, but did not pass because of a 60% floor enshrined in 2006. Why? Because they know that a majority of people want abortion, but if they could just keep it under 60%, then they keep it out of the hands of the people, essentially. We're seeing this shit in Arkansas. We're seeing this shit in Arizona. We're seeing this shit in Missouri. And so on and so on. So is it really up to the people? Every single ballot measure that gets passed in this country, for the most part, is a 50+1. Once again, it's how we elect everybody but president. 50+1 for governor, 50+1 for senator, 50+1 for House of Representatives, 50+1 for your state rep, your state senator, your town mayor, your village board, your school board, your junior college board, your park district board, your library board, your township board, your county board. All of those are 50+1, plus a vast majority of ballot measures. But here come the Republicans as ballot measures start picking up steam in states saying, hey, we can't allow 50+1 on these abortion measures. So we got to fuck with people's ability to pass something. We got to make sure it's harder for them to pass, or just make sure they can't get it on the ballot altogether. It doesn't really sound like it's left up to the people to me.